Who actually runs the United States? Answer in the comments.
One thing you talk about on your show a lot, which I think has been avoided for a very long time, is who really runs the U.S. government.
Yep.
You always talk about they, like when
Who's
you say they removed Biden as president against his wishes and placed Kamala in the seat. Who are they?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I asked Jim Jordan right now who they are, and I asked Kevin McCarthy who they are. Jim Jordan was here right now. I'm coming from there, and Kevin was here 2 or 3 weeks ago. So report came out today of how many billionaires are supporting Kamala versus how many billionaires are supporting Trump. What do you think the split is? So I'll give you the number on the total. It's 130 total billionaires that have publicly declared who they're supporting. How many is for Kamala? How many things for Trump?
I would say like 15 for Trump, and then what is it? 130 you said? So
No, I think
115 for.
I think it's the opposite. I think the majority is probably for Trump.
You think the majority is for Trump?
I would say so.
You ready? 80 is Kamala, 50 is Trump. 80 is Kamala, 50 is Trump. Why?
Interesting.
Why is 80 Kamala, 50 Trump? When you think about Elon is for Trump, okay, you think about, Warren Buffett is not for anybody. They're not announcing that they're supporting anybody, staying quiet about it. He's normally not like that. He'll come out and say Obama, but he's not for anybody. And neither is Mark Zuckerberg, not for anybody. In 2020, $400 million. He said, we made a mistake because the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they kept telling us to take certain things off and do this. And we made the mistake of saying yes to them. So Mark is kind of saying, I'm out. I'm not supporting anybody, right? You saw with Jeff Bezos, Washington Post. We're not endorsing anybody. He lost 200,000 subscribers at a $50 annual renewal. So he lost $10 million of recurring over saying they're not endorsing anybody, and lost a couple of his guys. And that's out of 2.5 million subscribers. He lost 8% of it. LA Times, for the first time in 20 years, we're not endorsing a candidate. He's one of his main editors resigned and said, I can't do this because I think this guy's pro-Trump or whatever it is, right? So why are 80 people supporting Kamala more than they are Trump? Well, if Dems lose this year, November 5th, we're going to know by the time people watch this thing. If Trump wins and Kamala loses and they're done, who do you think is making a phone call to say we have to change the approach? You think it's Obama? You think it's Bush? You think it's Hillary? You think it's the Clintons? Or you think it's the money people? There's a video today that I played for Jim Jordan. It's a scene where they're at George Bush Sr.'s funeral, and everybody is handed a white envelope. And they show Clintons open a white envelope, professionals, no facial reaction. They show Michelle Obama opens the envelope, Barack goes like this. They show the envelope, George Bush Sr.'s wife opens it, and she looks at Jeb. And Jeb is looking around because it's his father's funeral. And then Jeb goes like this for half a second. He goes, half a second reaction to the envelope? Okay, so who gave the envelope? Because in life, let's just say you go speak at an event and they pay you $500,000 to speak. He's like, well, I got paid $500,000 to speak. You know what I want to know?
Who paid you?
Who cut the check to the $500,000 to you? So in a setting like that, you received an envelope. And only 4 of you guys received the envelope. Apparently, Trump didn't receive an envelope. Who gave the envelope? It's not your assistant. It's the assistant to who? Whose handler gave it to you? And are those the people? Maybe I joked about it. I said, maybe it's simply the fact that they said to Jeb, there's no steak on the menu tonight. And he's pissed. It's only chicken. We know that's not the case. Maybe they said, hey, Trump did something. Well, what is that one thing? If you only need to look at something for half a second, that means there's not a paragraph or a sentence. It's a number or a word or a letter. Boom. That's what it is. I'm asking Jim Jordan today. This is a very powerful guy, Jim Jordan. He's gone up against Fauci. He's gone up against the Biden folks. He's gone against Hunter. He's gone against everybody he's gone up against. He said, I've never seen this before. I said, what do you think's in the envelope? I don't even know what's in the envelope. I want to know. So, Trump called it the amorphous group of lunatics, like a certain group of people behind closed doors that have the power that are doing this. Who could that be?
Could it be Satanists? Could it be just random people? Is it just an illusion? The president actually runs the country? I want to hear from you in the comment section down below, genuinely, because I read every single one of them. Like the video yesterday.
It's going to be tied to people that have money. And who those
Yep.
money people are, we know some of the names. We don't know all the names. But the reality of it is, whoever those people are that can control the knob, somebody like Obama's worth, let's say $100 million, say $200 million. Let's say Hillary's worth, at this point, her and Bill, $300 million, $400 million. You know what that is to these other guys?
Chump change.
You're nothing. That $400 million I spent on a regular day, just interest on what I'm paying, or dividends what I'm paying, you $400 million. These other guys have the real kind of money. So I asked Jim and my interest to see what Trump and some of these guys will do, the same way they did Twitter files, where we found out the communication on what was really going on and who was asking to remove all those posts and all this other stuff. Barry Weiss, Elon Musk, Matt Taibbi exposed it, right? I said, I would love to see somebody get appointed to do FBI files, get appointed to do CIA files, get appointed to do DOJ files, get appointed to show to us what's going on. Because if somebody comes in and you fire everybody, Jim said, I've told Trump, you should not only fire everyone, we should also fire some of the people that you shouldn't fire. And it's okay if you get in trouble for it, but we got to get rid of these guys to really find out what's going on. Yeah, I mean, it's who's there the longest that typically doesn't want the limelight. The one time I interviewed this lady named Jonah Mendes. She was the chief disguise officer of the USA. She's CIA 28 years, I think. Her husband was a very well-known guy that was involved in the movie Argo. But Jonah Mendes, she came to me. She's the one that put a real mask on her face, and President Bush Sr. couldn't recognize her because it was so real.
Wow.
If you've never seen this, it's sick. There's a picture of it. She's holding the mask of a different lady, right?
Whoa.
And I said, Jonah, you've been the CIA for 28 years.
Whoa. Wow. That's... So if they've got these kind of technology, or ability, should we say, can you trust your eyes anymore?
The mask of a different lady, right? And I said, Jonah, you've been the CIA for 28 years. What's the quality of a great CIA agent? She says, great question. I said, is it sales? Is it negotiation? Is it persuasion? What is it? She says, it's somebody who's a very good negotiator, who's very charming, who's very charismatic, who's very persuasive. However, if you all of a sudden prevented World War III and you are the reason and you're watching TV, you don't have to go and brag about it. How hard that is. You want to say, hey, you see that? I did that. Imagine you just prevented war. No one's giving you credit for it. Those are the people behind closed doors that they know they're running everything, but no one's giving them credit for it because they don't want it.
Yeah.
They're okay with that.
In the envelope, I'm curious if it's a picture.
Could be a picture.
That's what I think.
Some sort
Could be
of
a picture.
Like some sort of
something,
some sort of blackmail.
Could be a picture.
That's what I think. Hey, we got this image, and everyone's like, "Oh crap, they got the image."
You're right. It could
They
also
got
be a
the photo.
picture. Yep.
Yeah, for me, I would say it was really freaky when Joe Biden kept saying, I'm going to run a second term. Things are going to be fine. I'm not going to back out of this race. That's the last thing I'm going to do. And then one random day he did. No one asked any questions, and he's out and Kamala's in.
I got a question for you
We don't even
guys.
know why.
I got a question for you guys. The evolution of your first podcast we did together at MGM, right? To the second one, to now the third one. I don't think we talked any politics on the second one, on the first one. Maybe a little bit. Second one, I went there a few times. This one, you guys are very interested. Why are you guys now comfortable talking about politics and you're interested in it?
I have always been a little bit more okay with that. I'm a little bit more prone to risk, I guess.
It's
Graham is very
Graham.
risk averse,
Yeah.
so he doesn't like
I
to
would-
make
yeah.
any takes or anything.
For me, it's not really my forte. I'm really interested in business and money. And I think that's a good balance between Jack and I. Jack is a lot more interested in these topics than I am. For me, though, it's what everyone's talking about these days. So I'll kind of go with the flow in terms of where
He
the
has
attention
been
is.
sending me a disproportionate amount of
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Twitter posts and stuff like that have gotten political recently, which is fascinating because this has just never
Oh
been
gosh,
him
the
before.
botting. The botting is terrible on Reddit. So
he
I'm
noticed
sending
this.
Jack. So like I'm really big because I could see when someone's buying fake views, followers, likes, comments.
Easy.
I see it so quickly on YouTube. I'm seeing it on Reddit. And these particular threads that are coming up, and I'm sending Jack these threads that are very pro-Kamala, anti-Elon Musk, anti-Trump. And I know Reddit skews left, But to the degree that I'm seeing, and I'm screen recording on my phone, and I'm refreshing, and I'm showing like 1,000 upvotes, 1,000 upvotes, 1,000 upvotes every minute. It's not normal. That doesn't happen. I've never seen that before. And so I could tell, and I'm sending this to Jack, like, hey, this is botted, this is botted, this is botted, this
And
is
it's on
botted,
apolitical
consistently.
Reddit threads or subreddits. So things that aren't supposed to be political, like it was r/pics.
r/pics.
Which is not political at all. And then they're posting a picture of Kamala's ad or something on the Sphere saying that the Sphere's taking a political stance, and it's just getting 1,000 upvotes.
And the
every
funny
minute.
thing is, every comment is negative, but all the negative comments are now getting downvoted within the first minute. And I'm screen
And
recording
what does
all
that
of this.
do? When it's downvoted, what does it do?
It doesn't show up on the top.
So it just
that
goes
way-
all the way to the bottom.
So wait a
yeah.
minute. Reddit, they only show the ones that are upvoted?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
So what I'm seeing is that, just my opinion is that her or her team are
doing something.
botting up very positive pro information to her, botting up anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk, and then botting up all the positive comments and suppressing anything that's negative. Because when you sort by newest, they're all negative. And every comment is like, this is just an ad. She bought a billboard.
Are you catching yourself being more interested in it because it directly impacts you, or is it because the market's talking about it and you're just like you're forced to almost consume it?
Probably both.
Okay.
I'd say it's an equal amount of both. Probably 50-50.
You know why I used to think it was the second one, but a part of me, politics has been around for a long time, if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Politics has been around for a long time. When I watched sports, and I was 18, 16, 20, 22, I could care less about politics. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. Why did I pay $50,000 in taxes? Where's this money going to? Why did you just tell me I have to do this? Well, why is this district? Why is it because I'm this county? You just came and collected what kind of taxes? Assessor tax? What is this tax? LA County? So you need me to pay you what, $69,000 for what? So what county doesn't have this kind of tax? What's the Burbank, Glendale, Santa Monica, Victorville? Okay, then I'm going to go to Glendale. We're moving our office. We're getting the hell out of California. So those were some of the things, because it starts off with economy, right? You're not sitting there saying pro-life, pro-choice, this, that. You're just looking purely at the economy side of it. But it's interesting for me that a content creator like yourself, you guys have a massive following. You're not a small 100,000 subs. It's millions on top of millions on a couple platforms, that now even you are feeling more comfortable to want to talk about these issues, even though some of your audience may say, why are you talking about the stick to business? Good for you guys.
Thank you. And I do think that they're tied together pretty well. I mean, I also had a huge awakening when I left California and then moved to Nevada, and then realized that the amount of money I'm saving in state income tax is paying for my house. It paid for my car. It's paying for all of these things. And then I go to California and it is substantially worse than it is in Las Vegas. And I'm like, well, this makes no sense. There's a
Yeah.
huge discrepancy. And I think it's also important to talk about politics, not through an emotional lens. So also to harp back on what he said about the Reddit stuff, that's also speculation. There's
there's no proof.
The
but,
proof is
you
just
know.
the fact that we've refreshed the page and it looks really sketchy. And Graham spends
I've never seen it.
He spends an ungodly amount of time on Reddit.
I do.
Like a crazy, and
Hours
he's
a
never
day
seen anything like this.
for
It
years.
makes no sense. It's speculative, but
Yeah.
it is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Instagram, Kamala will post something. She's got 20 million followers. And you'll see how many likes it gets. Like, man, you're not moving anybody. Call her daddy, 779,000
Yeah.
views. Club Shay Shay, 889,000 views. Where his Cat Williams interview was a #1 interview of the year, but the person running for president only gets 889. Trump Rogan, 35 to 40 million views, and he dropped it on Friday night, or whatever it was, on a night where Yankees are playing game 1. You choose to drop it on that. What a frick. You got brass balls to drop it. Oh, yo, the perfect timing of the, everybody's almost, we got to drop it on something. Nah, I'm dropping it right now. Go watch it. You don't want to watch it. It's totally fine with me. 35 million views. On Google, you can't even see what's going on with it. You can't find a Rogan Trump. So, and then the thumbs up, thumbs down ratio, you would watch Obama on Leno or Letterman or whatever the shows were, Kimmel or Fallon. He was interesting. Unfortunately, she is the most boring candidate ever. I've never seen a more boring candidate than her. And this
you
is
agree?
politics. A lot of
In the
people are
comments?
boring that get into politics. The market's just not interested. You have guests, you'll have them on. And what do? You think you're going to go back and interview a guest that doesn't get eyeballs? You don't do that. I don't do that. None of us do that. Oh, this guy, what was that? No one's interested. Why are you not interested? Boring, not entertaining, not electrifying, no charisma, give me something new. Everything's the same vanilla. Same story, same story, same story. Nobody wants to see it. I already know what he's going to be saying because he says the same thing. A lot of content creators who were gods 10 years ago, 5 years ago, who are dying today. Why are you going to watch them? You know what they're going to say. You know what their answer is going to be. They don't recreate themselves. The same way the market reacts to boring content, not getting fresh, you guys are changing it up. The same with Kamala. The market's just not interested in what she has to say on the interviews. They're only voting because they can't stand Trump. They're not voting because they love her.
Wow, let's see the comment section real quick. It's time for young people to start asking questions. That's what the establishment don't want them, because when young people start asking questions, fighting military-age male and female start asking questions, that's a massive concern. That's when the increase, the entertainment, the games, the clown shows, the as I said, the TVs, and all of that, it skyrockets, because you don't want people asking questions, especially people who can do things, who can get the ball rolling and actually create a revolution. Something could take place at the back of their opinions. But when old people do it, yeah, who cares? They're too old. They're just tired. They're going to say it and then go home and sit down and do nothing about it because they're tired. But when young people start raising things up, hey, that's the danger. So I think that's that. But, you know, there are a bunch of rich families out there who potentially run things. I don't want to influence you too much in regards to who runs the USA, because I literally genuinely want to hear from you. Who do you think runs the USA? But as for me, I believe when the phone rings, the president has to pick up. And I'm curious to know who's ringing the phone that the president has to pick up. Let me know in the comment section down below. All right? Like the video whilst you're there. I'll catch you in the next one. God bless.